it's Tanya, and it's a weekly sketch challenge once again with the Hip Kit Club kit. And yes, I want to talk about the photograph before I get into what I'm doing. That is my typewriter. This is the much anticipated video on how I got my typewriter. Actually, I don't know how anticipated it is, but anyway, I'm going to tell you the story. So I got my typewriter for my birthday. Hubby organised it, and to be fair, I actually did have some unhappy thoughts towards him. Not major ones, you understand. And oh, look at that. Can we just bask in the glory? Anyway, I'll get back to that. Because it was late. I didn't get a birthday present on my birthday, and I was thinking, now what's taking so long? Why am I not a priority in your life anymore? And it's a good thing he doesn't watch these videos. But no, it was not as dramatic as that. But yes, I am a birthday person, and I do like presents, and it was a bit lean this year, but he did make up for it because he came home and tossed something at me in a loving, gentle way, obviously, and I caught it, and it was a golf ball. Not a golf ball as in a golf ball, but it was a golf ball typewriter. What are they called? I think they're just called golf ball. The font mechanism for these typewriters. Anyway, he tossed that at me, and I got super excited and rushed out and carried this mightily big, heavy typewriter into the house. My gosh, is that thing heavy? Wow, it weighs a ton. But it's beautiful, and as you can see there, it types up a storm. And what I thought of with what I'm doing here, okay, I am following the sketch with the placement of the photograph and with the banners underneath, and I kind of like the idea of using that 4x6 card, and kind of, it's supposed to almost be as if the entire thing is going through the typewriter, because I took the photograph of having typed all those different fonts, and then I typed on the 4x6 card. Oh, you can see what I mean there. I'm not quite sure it totally, was pulled off, but that was the idea behind it. So there we go. And now I'm just cutting up a few of these Maggie Holmes ephemera bits to make my banners at the bottom, because I like some of the phrases on there, so I wanted to get those in, and then I didn't want too many because there's already, with the typing, there's already a lot of written words on this layout, so I figured I would just make a couple of banners. And yes, that poor bunny got cut up to become a banner because I liked the colouring. And I thought the background page was just perfect for this layout. It's a very, very pretty one. And yeah, so there we go. And now I'm just going to explain to you how I did this whole thing, because I fun-foamed it, and those frills are really quite dimensional. So my layout is already getting very dimensional the more I keep putting on it, and I do keep insisting on trying to use the frames on it as well, but I don't use them in the end because it just would have added way too much bulk. But I do manage to sew through that. Yeah, I was going to say typewriter, I'm obviously obsessed with this thing. My sewing machine did really, really well. I'll show you in a little bit. I think I'll show you just in a few seconds. Actually, there we go, look at that. Yep, sewed through that, was very chuffed with myself, did quite a bit of sewing on here actually, which you can see in the still shots at the end. There we go, here's the obsession with the frames. What I'm trying to do is focus in on the golf ball, because it ties in with my story. And I love Maggie Holmes, and I love her chipboard, but I really am battling with this chipboard. I'm battling to get it off the base. There we go, can't think of what you would call it. And again, the reason why I am peeling away most of the chipboard and thus making it just a sticker is because of the bulk. I really didn't want to add more onto this page, and I liked the idea of the houses, so I'm going to make rows of houses because it's homely. Typewriters are homely. It's actually so funny. I don't know if funny is the right term, but I sat down and started to type on that typewriter, and it was like coming home. I mean, I learned to type on a typewriter. Yes, oh, nice story, Grandma, I know. But yeah, when I was 12, 13, Yeah, there were computers, but they weren't really mainstream, and they were those ZX81s and those kind. And my brother had those, so I had a typewriter. And yes, I taught myself to touch type on a typewriter, and it just brings back so many wonderful memories that it just, yeah, that feeling of coming home. So that's why the houses are on there. And initially I wasn't going to use the big blue one because I thought he was too too big. But he actually did make it in the end, and I thought I was terribly, terribly clever by putting that pot plant behind the houses, because now it's a lemon tree and not what it was in the pot plant. So yes, there was a lot of imagination going on with this layout, and lots of fun was had by all, and all being just me. But you are benefiting from it by watching the video. There we go. So we are having fun together, and rainbows go on, and it's just joy around everywhere. Stars and hearts, and it's just blissful. So there we go. That's my layout is blissful because of a typewriter. And I do journal on a 3x4 card, which I again will show you in a bit. But I actually, and then I basically it becomes hidden journaling, and then I didn't like that because I wanted the story to be on the page. I wanted, I wanted to play with my typewriter, and B, I wanted it to be on display. So in the end, I'm going to type on the bottom half, and you're going to think to yourself, but Tanya, I mean, I know your typewriter's good, but it's not magic. You can't put that entire page through it with all that bulk. No, you can't. But what you can do is you can take the second piece of paper that you have, if you have the paper add-on, and you can run that through your typewriter, and you can cut it down, and it's almost as if it was on the original background paper. I know, I stun myself often with these moments of brilliance that I have. And yeah, there's a bit of there's a bit of a line where it's glued down, but it's not viciously obvious. So I thought, yeah, that wasn't bad either. And I got a little bit disturbed by those little words. Here we go. Okay, here we go. I was doing that primarily because you could pause the video and then read my journaling if you really wanted to. You know, I don't know why I thought you might want to, but you could have done if you wanted to. But then the whole thing of wanting to actually play with my typewriter came about, so you'll be able to read it on the actual layout. So there we go. And here some more puffy stickers are coming out, and I thought about the bow, but the bow again is just going to add too much dimension, even though I took the foam backing off it, so the bows don't do it. But yeah, some of these hearts do. And I briefly thought about trying to put those little houses on, but they're really teeny tiny compared to the ones that I got on there, so the scale just wasn't working for me, so they don't go on. But the stars do, and the hearts do. As I said, it's a joyful occasion, and I'm running out of things to talk to you about on this layout. I could tell you I had my hair done. Yeah, every 6 weeks or 7 weeks I go and I have my hair coloured, and my hairdresser and I, we have a big fat chat because our kids grew up together, so we do the reminiscing of how, actually, yeah, it's terrible. Poor Tamsin is traumatized to this day by clowns, because when she went to go and have a stay over at her best friend's house, and the best friend's mum is of course the hairdresser, they watched it. Yeah, I ask you. Anyway, I had to go and fetch her because she was scared to death, so we laughed about that. So there you go. There you see, there's my moment of brilliance, where I wanted the typewriting to be there, and so I did it on the extra piece of paper, and I thought that it did fine. And yes, sorry, to get back to the clown story, I had to go and fetch the poor child, and yes, the mum was very apologetic. She didn't realise her daughter was showing her that video, and yeah, we can laugh about it now, but at the time it was a bit traumatizing for poor Tamsin. And yeah, they're still good friends, so there is that. But no, she can't see clowns in the same light anymore. So here we go. After all that, please go and check out the Facebook forum. Come join in on the challenge, and we will chat again soon. Bye bye.